think it's exciting. Very exciting.
Can we expect to see you on the card?
I can't promise anyone anything, but I have a very strong feeling that I'll be on that card.
But who would you take on? Who would be your dream opponent?
I would want to take on whoever's holding the belt at the end of the year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I saw Jones. We don't know if he was serious. Is he not retired anymore? Is he back in the...
You jump back in the pool, so...
How sick is that for you that now you kind of got this White House event for them?
Donald Trump mentioned that he wanted to have a fight at the White House Garden, you know, and that just seems like such a huge opportunity. I'm a very proud American.
Jon Jones has given the green light for a highly anticipated fight against Tom Aspinall, igniting excitement among UFC fans. With the announcement, Jones also made it clear that he demands a spot on UFC's White House card, fueling further anticipation. Jon Jones revealed that he retired because he felt he had accomplished everything in the UFC, having dominated the light heavyweight division for years. He believed he had reached the peak, and there wasn't much left for him to prove in the sport. However, recent developments have reignited his competitive fire, leading to his return to the octagon.
I'm a very proud American. I have a lot of close friends that are in the military. This is my act of I can't call it service, but just to be able to entertain the country and the world at this level at the White House, it just means the world to me. So I'm back.
With Trump announcing a special fight card at the White House, Jon saw it as a perfect opportunity to return to the UFC. This new event sparked Jones's interest, and he quickly realized that it was the ideal moment to make a comeback and entertain fans with a fresh challenge in his career.
Donald Trump mentioned that he wanted to have a fight at the White House Garden, you know, and that just seems like such a huge opportunity. I'm a very proud American. I have a lot of close friends that are in the military, and this is my act of I can't call it service, but just to be able to entertain the country and the world at this level at the White House, it just means the world to me. So I'm back.
Jon Jones has confirmed his comeback, expressing interest in fighting Tom Aspinall at the UFC White House event, provided Aspinall remains the champion next year. This announcement has generated massive excitement, signaling Jones's return to the octagon and potentially setting up a thrilling heavyweight showdown. Jon Jones is down to fight Tom Aspinall at the UFC White House event if he's still the champion next year. I have a very strong feeling I'll be on that card. Speaking on the Pat McAfee show, Dana White confirmed that after the White House card announcement, Jon Jones immediately called the UFC. He expressed his desire to re-enter the UFC and pursue another major fight. This unexpected move has generated huge anticipation among fans, signaling Jon's readiness to reassert his dominance in the sport once more.
Is that for the White House fight? For sure, right?
Well, it was after we announced the White House that, yeah, he called and said he wanted to, get back in the pool. Obviously everybody wants to fight on that card, and that's a good thing because we're going to put on the best card we've ever done for that White House event.
Dana White, however, added that the landscape of UFC could shift between now and then. Despite this uncertainty, Dana confirmed they'd try to make Jon's return happen. Pat McAfee also joined the conversation, suggesting that a Jon Jones versus Conor McGregor matchup would be truly breathtaking.
Anything is possible. Listen, it's still a year away. I mean, it's literally a year away from now. So the landscape will change a lot over the next year as far as title holders and, stars and people that pop up. But yeah, I mean, we're looking if we do a Jones and Conor on the same card, plus a lot of other great fights, anything is possible and everything is possible for that card.
If we're going to have Conor McGregor and Jon Jones on the same card, I guess.
Sure.
I guess we'll do that. That thing will be electrifying. You said it's about a year from now. Do you have a date already picked out?
It's the 4th of July. It's the 250th anniversary of America.
Yeah. Holy fuck. Is that the greatest thing of all time?
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is, by the way. Yeah, the flyover.
Yeah, might work.
My. The flyover is about to be... Holy shit, Dana.
Imagine, just think about what I'm going to do for this fight, and then think about what Trump is going to do for this fight. You know what I mean? It's going to be it's a one-of-one experience.
Michael Bisping jumped in with a key point, questioning Jon's eligibility to fight if he hasn't re-entered the USADA testing pool yet. He explained that fighters must spend 6 months in the testing pool before they can officially fight again, and with Jon's absence, this timeline could be problematic for the planned fight at the White House.
What Jones did isn't unique. It's been done before. Other people have walked away from the sport. They vacated their belts. They were stripped of their belts. They didn't care about the belts and just walked off and lived their best life. All right, so John Jones, who recently just retired, that walked away from the heavyweight belt, the undisputed championship of the world.
So Tom could have the heavyweight championship. I don't really care about it.
Because he wants to live his best life, or because he ducked Tom Aspinall. Says that he's now re-entered the testing pool, but apparently, if you look on the anti-doping website for the UFC, he hasn't re-entered the testing pool. So I don't know what he's talking about there, okay? He hasn't formally re-entered the testing pool. You have to do 6 months in the testing pool before you are eligible to fight again.
Bisping followed up, emphasizing that John still has time to re-enter the pool if he intends to fight at the White House event next July 4th. He reassured fans that it wasn't too late for Jones to meet the necessary requirement, but it would require a swift and deliberate process to ensure everything is in place.
So if he wants to fight at the White House on July 4th next year, that's a Saturday, 2026, he's still got plenty of time. I think that he sees Tom Aspinall walking around with a belt. I think he sees the opportunity to fight at the White House and thinks, you know what, I want to come back. Let's see Tom Aspinall fight a little bit, see how he does against Cyril Gahn, see how he does against somebody else. Tom Aspinall said he wants to fight 4 times in the space of a year.
In the next 12 months, like to do 4. Yeah. Okay.
So Jones can watch him, he can study him, he can come up with the game plan and then try and beat him. Either way, I still think it's pretty weak. But regardless, he had a great career.
Dana White continued by revealing that UFC was excited about the potential for a John Jones versus Tom Aspinall fight at the White House card. He acknowledged that while Jones versus McGregor was a tantalizing prospect, the Aspinall matchup had the potential to be just as thrilling, with both fighters bringing unique styles to the octagon.
You kind of got this White House event for them, and it's like, I feel like this is what brings...
No matter who popped up or who didn't or whatever, we would have put on an incredible card.
What would be the dream main event?
The dream main event right now would be Aspinall versus Jones.
Is it possible that McGregor and Jones would fight on the same card?
Could be.
When asked about his potential opponent, John Jones revealed that he would fight whoever holds the title by the end of this year. Currently, that champion is Tom Aspinall, but Jones left the door open, saying that let's see if he remains the champ. This statement added an intriguing twist to the potential matchup.
I can't promise anyone anything, but I have a very strong feeling that I'll be on that card.
But who would you take on? Who would be your dream opponent?
I would want to take on whoever's holding the belt at the end of the year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Any possible names you think?
Well, no, I mean, as of right now, the champion is Tom Aspinall, but we'll see who's the champion at the end of the year. And I feel like it'd be only fitting to have an American guy fight for the championship that night, and I'd be willing to put it all on the line.
Nice.
As the anticipation builds for a potential John Jones versus Tom Aspinall showdown, kickboxing champion Rico Verhoeven weighed in, stating that John doesn't stand a chance against Tom. Verhoeven, known for his striking ability, expressed his confidence in Aspinall's skill set, calling it a difficult matchup for Jones.
There's one guy who could mimic a John Jones on the feet. It's Rico Verhoeven.
He's gonna wipe the floor. He's gonna wipe the floor with John Jones.
You believe
John Jones 100%. Doesn't have a chance versus Tom Aspinall. Mark my words. Tom Aspinall is a freaking monster.
I love it.
On his feet and on the ground. So, and I truly believe that John Jones has never faced somebody that is that good on his feet. On the ground, he's faced some guys that are pretty good. But on his feet, I think Tom is, he would even do good in the kickboxing ring. He would be a top competitor for to fight me as well.
Chael Sonnen sparked controversy by stating John Jones isn't ranked in the top 10 fighters in the UFC. This statement raised eyebrows, questioning Jones's position among the sport's elite. Sonnen highlighted how rankings can be fluid, and the debate around John's place is far from straightforward, adding fuel to the fire.
John Jones is not ranked anywhere in the top 10. Or is he? Or is he? This is a peculiar one. Now, there's many spots in this sport, but possibly none more prevalent than the rankings room to remind us that we fiercely adhere to the rules that we make up as we go. All right, so Ilia Topuria comes out #1 pound for pound fighter in the world. Now, there's been guys in the past that have beaten Charles Oliveira. And never did that make somebody the #1 pound for pound in the world.
Sonnen continued, emphasizing that pound-for-pound rankings are more than just divisional titles. He pointed out how fighters are often moved up or down based on other factors, like dominance, not just title victory. He referenced the debate between Dana White and others about who deserves the top spot, challenging conventional rankings.
Like, if you were to adjust that ranking, which is at least compliment-wise, the biggest compliment that we have in our whole industry, there's just for compliments, it would be the pound for pound. The very argument that Dana White publicly had between Islam and John Jones wasn't even discussing Ilya. So, hey, why'd you put that guy #1? Hey, why'd that guy move? Hey, how'd this guy get in front of everybody else? And the answer would not come back that he defeated Charles. It would have to be in the presence of the defeat of Charles with a little something extra, which this had, which was the immersion of the World Championship. Okay, great, but now let's just look at that in and of itself.
John Jones discussed the significance of the upcoming UFC White House event, noting that while boxing has held matches there, it will be MMA's first. He acknowledged that returning after retirement is challenging, but emphasized his familiarity with the process, ensuring he's mentally prepared for the journey ahead.
At the White House before, like officially?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I heard there was a boxing match many years ago at the White House.
Okay.
MMA will be the first.
All right, so what's the get back been like? Because if you retire and then come back, that's got to be crazy.
Yes, it's been difficult and different. Everything hurts, you know. I'm a lot more sore than I ever remember being, but I know this process very well. I've been winning championships my whole adult life, and I know you got to suffer, and I'm here to do that and make it worth it.
Dana White expressed excitement about the UFC's White House event, calling it a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. He described the scale of the event as massive, highlighting the uniqueness of collaborating with President Trump. Dana's enthusiasm added to the anticipation, signaling that this could be one of the biggest moments in UFC history.
Imagine, just think about what I'm going to do for this fight, and then think about what Trump is going to do for this fight. You know what I mean? It's going to be it's a one-of-one experience. Like when we did the Sphere, it's the Sphere on steroids. I mean, it's going to be a one-of-one event. There'll be nothing like it ever again.
And then let alone Kid Rock starts getting his mind around this entire time.
Yeah.
We already talked. Believe me, when we were out the other night, we talked a lot about this. Believe me.
However, Chael Sonnen raised an important question about John Jones's return for the White House card, asking if it truly signifies that Jones is back. He questioned Jones's trustworthiness, referencing how Jones has avoided fighting Tom Aspinall in the past. Chael's doubts cast a shadow on Jones's commitment.
Let's just bring the audience in on this. Now, here was the question, and it had to do with the White House event specifically. But I don't know that the conversation is relevant to that. But I'll just share what we were talking about over here and said, hey, look, would the UFC book John Jones for that event? You know, largely, what does it mean that John's back in the pool? Now, oddly enough, I had a video sent to me today.
Reflecting on John Jones's past, Daniel Cormier called him a quitter instead of accusing him of ducking fighters. He pointed out that John had left the sport before, but is now returning after the announcement of the White House card. Cormier's comments added more fuel to the ongoing debate about John's commitment and his decision to come back for such a high-profile event.
I said it. I said he quit because he didn't fight Tom Aspinall, and so many people said he ducked. I was in this weird situation where I don't want to say he ducked from someone, but I was saying he quit fighting. I still don't believe I don't believe that he's afraid of anybody. I just don't think that's how any fighter thinks, especially one that has had the success that he's had. But Dana goes and says yesterday that he's back in the testing pool, and then Jones himself enters the testing pool the day after the White House card gets essentially announced by the president. When the president goes, we want to do an event at the White House. same day John Jones gets in the testing pool.
Daniel Cormier continued, expressing that if the UFC White House card fight happens on July 4th, it would be crucial to have an American champion. He boldly stated that John Jones should be the one to represent America, predicting that Jones would undoubtedly win the fight, further emphasizing his belief in John's abilities. Cormier's confidence in John's success added a new layer to the growing anticipation surrounding the potential matchup.
You guys know, if you watch Good Guy, Bad Guy, the other day I said, listen, if there is a guy, because if it happens, it's on 4th of July. We need an American to win. Right now, guys, we don't have an American in the top 10 pound for pound. We don't have an American in the top 10 pound for pound. We don't have an American champion outside of Kayla Harrison, now that John Jones retired. So who do we send out there on July 4th to get a victory? I say send John Jones. He's going to win. That's what he's done his whole career. If it's going to be somebody that we have to trust to win for the country, you send that dude. And that's me saying that as a guy that has never seen eye to eye with that dude. Never seen eye to eye. But I'm saying, if we got to send an American male to go get a victory, you better send John Jones.
Some experts are still skeptical of John Jones. Ariel Helwani reacted to John Jones's decision to re-enter the UFC's testing pool following the announcement of the White House event. Helwani expressed confusion, asking if John actually ever left the sport, as it seemed like his return was almost immediate.
And there's old Johnny Boy back at it with the tweets. Can I be honest? I want to know what this testing pool is. I want to know what the testing pool is. What is the testing pool? Do we really think John exited the testing pool and then re-entered? Because I think I'm ready to call cap on that. Just re-entered the testing pool. That lasted for about 2 weeks. Figured we keep everyone's options open. Fighting at the White House? It would be, for me, it's about the opportunity to represent America at the White House. I don't care who I fight that night. I found my reason why. That's what I needed, something that was more than money. All right. So how much we doing this for? 500? Okay. Donald made his announcement. By the way, the disrespect to call him Donald. Not even Trump.
Ariel continued, pointing out that John Jones didn't allow enough time for fans or the sport to miss him before returning so quickly. Helwani noted that the UFC's focus was now on making the biggest possible match for the White House event. Dana White suggested that John Jones versus Tom Aspinall was the most likely and exciting fight for the event, raising the stakes for what could be one of the biggest matchups in UFC history.
I don't know. Dana White told the Nelk boys that the ideal main event would be him versus Tom Aspinall. Again, a lot can happen between now and then, but there's an art to being missed, and I know that John hasn't fought since November, but I don't think that he's necessarily allowing himself to be missed very much, because the moment he left, he came right back. And by the way, I have no problem with all of this. We never had a problem with any of this. It was the fact that he was holding up the division, holding up the belt. Everyone said, please stick around. Stick around as long as you want. Just give up the title so other people can realize their dreams. Fun fights, one-off fights, legacy fights, super fights, all day. You're bigger than the title. John Jones is bigger than the UFC heavyweight title. He's bigger than any title. There's only a couple of guys who are bigger than the title.
Thanks for tuning in. As John Jones makes his anticipated return and the UFC White House event approaches, the excitement continues to build. Be sure to stay connected for all the latest updates on the fighters, matchups, and more. Don't forget to subscribe and keep following for exclusive insights into the biggest moments in UFC history.